Welcome to the Cardinal Huddle. We have a lot in store for you today. We will be talking UIW tennis, softball, soccer, and a lot more. Plus, there will be a surprise guest joining the show. The Cardinal Huddle starts right now. Thank you for tuning in today to the Cardinal community. I'm here surrounded with our very own UIW sports experts. How's everyone doing? How's your week going?
Well, I'm doing great, Zoe. I'm super excited to be here. The weather in San Antonio has been great. I'm excited to be here for the first time talking about UIW tennis.
That's right.
Yeah, like Keely, I'm a first-time rookie here, so I hope you guys take it easy on us. But it's a great time to be alive. Fiesta's going on right now. Spurs just qualified for the play-in tournament, so it's a great time to be a Cardinal.
That's right, Benny.
Always a beautiful day to be alive. I'm very excited to start with a bunch of football topics today.
Yeah, exciting times in San Antonio. I'm so excited for you guys. Thank you for joining us today. It's gonna be great. We'll take it easy on you. I promise you that.
Good.
And since we're so excited, there's no better way to start the show than by announcing that Ellen Nicholas of the women's golf team won the Golfer of the Month honor for the month of February. Nicholas tied for first place in the Golf Week AGT Intercollegiate for her fourth individual medal of the year. She broke her own program record with a low round of 67 -5 to jump 2 spots on the final day. Nicholas tied for the tournament lead with 13 birdies and shot a field best 6 under par 5s across 3 rounds. Well, that's very exciting. Our athletes are always putting UIW on the map, and that is no exception, right, Keely? What's going on with men's tennis?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I've seen Ellen Nichols everywhere. She's had a great season so far, and I can't wait to see what they do. But let's go on to men's tennis. UIW men's tennis defeated New Orleans, making their record 9-0 at home, 3-0 in Southland Conference play, and 12-6 overall. I was able to make it out to the match against Nichols on the 31st to witness Marwin Croman following his Player of the Week honorable mention after securing 2 wins at #1 singles and 2 wins at #1 doubles last week. The junior is on a winning streak, and I was able to get with him and ask what has been the biggest contribution to his success, and here's what he had to say.
I think trying to play for each other. We're a team out here. Tennis is a single sport, but we're still competing to win together. So trying to do your best for your teammates and just giving it everything.
The Cardinals kept the streak alive this week, with Sasso receiving another Southland Strong Player of the Week. Tennis will finish out conference versus Corpus A&M on April 12th at home for the regular season championship. Keep up the good work, Cardinals.
Yeah, Benny, that's very exciting times for men's tennis. Consecutive Player of the Week honors. Do you know the reason for that success, Keely?
Yeah, I think they just have an overall group that just is willing to go out there every day and just work really hard, and I think it's just been paying off for them. Sure.
Absolutely.
That's really building a strong precedent for the upcoming tennis players to come at UIW. It's always good to have a strong legacy left behind for you.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah, Benny, speaking of legacy and winning, I hear our fencing team has done a lot of that this past couple of weeks.
Well, yes, you are correct, Zoe. The fencing team is celebrating after their recent victories. The men's and women's fencing team had a successful season, capturing a regional title and 2 conference titles. Fencers Riley Rudeau and Julian Spire advanced to the 2022 National Collegiate Championship hosted at the University of Notre Dame. They put on a strong showing, helping UIW finish 23rd out of 27 in the competition. Joining our fencers in their success is head coach John Moreau, who was named the Mountain Pacific Sports Federation Head Coach of the Year. Moreau helped guide UIW to a second-place finish at the league meet this year. So fencing, like tennis, is really building a strong precedent as well. They've already had a strong precedent since 2015 when UIW became a D1 school. Every single year since then, they have qualified for very competitive tournaments. So they're really making the Cardinal community very proud.
They really are, Benny. But I need to know, are they going to repeat this success next year?
Why do you say are? They will. It's a Benny guarantee. I am giving the Cardinal community a Benny guarantee right now that next year our fencing team will finish in a higher position. I say top 10 at next year's collegiate tournament. I guarantee it. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, and that win is next year.
All right, Benny, all right. Well, I'm going to stop you right there because I'm ready to get talking about some football. So what do you got, Aaron?
Oh, all right. Well, as you know, in Texas, football is king, but here at UIW, we have some very exciting news. I had the pleasure of scoring a one-on-one interview with our brand new head football coach, GJ Kenny, and he seems like a coach that knows what he wants from his players. Kenny was previously the co-offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach at the University of Central Florida, who also has a background in NFL coaching with the Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles. So after the Cardinals' successful 10-3 season and a Southland Conference title under former head coach Eric Morris, I asked Kenny what can he do to help elevate the team to the next step and win a championship.
I think we're just going to come to work every day, get 1% better. We have a lot of really good players, got talented coaches. I'm excited to get these guys going, and we've had a great spring practice so far.
The Cardinals are currently in spring training form and getting ready to suit up and transition into the Western Athletic Conference this fall. So a little bit harder conference, but it's nothing that these guys can't handle.
I know you say that, Aaron, that they can handle anything that comes their way, but we do have to keep in mind that they're moving to the WAC and there's going to be a lot more teams. How do you feel that the team can, repeat that success coming into next season?
Well, when you have a coach with as much background in coaching as he does, I believe that these guys, they live, breathe, and die by this sport. And football in Texas, like I said, is king here. And so I really think that this is a great team. And coming off the success of last season, I bet they're hungry for more.
Yeah, and Aaron, I think that going into the WAC would be more beneficial for them for sure because they had to play multiple teams twice in the Southland, and now going into the WAC, having the opportunity to play every team once, I think that will be very beneficial for them.
Yes, absolutely. I agree 100%.
Yeah, and also competition brings out the best in everyone. So with playing more competitive teams, it's only going to make our program even better and more efficient for the years to come.
Benny, I like how you mentioned competitiveness, and that's exactly what we're about to see. It's time to look at the top 3 plays of the month brought to you by our great UIW athletes. So guys, that was really impressive. What did you think about those plays?
Wow. What can I say? UIW has some amazing athletes for sure.
Yes, it is a proud day to be a Cardinal, witnessing those special moments. I wish I can say I do it myself, but I don't. I am not the athlete. I'm the guy who pays to see them. But it's fun, and I'm proud to pay money to see great entertainment.
It's great to see them. They put in a lot of hard work day in and day out, but to have talent like that, it's truly, truly impressive.
Yeah, that's right. I hear all of you guys, and I hear you, Benny. I also pay to just see them, and I'm glad I'm in this chair right now. So, guys, unfortunately, it's halftime, so I have to let you go. But we'll be right back with another great panel of UIW sports experts joining us. Just stick around. We'll be back in a few minutes.
We walked up to this one store that was like a plant store. Your birthday's coming up, so I was thinking about looking for something for you. So I was walking around and I ended up seeing this one potted plant holder. I showed it to Mom. She really likes it. She might steal it. But she said it would have been perfect for the plant that you had on the side table in your room. I really wish I could have given it to you. If that drunk driver made the right decision that night, my sister would still be with me. If you're drinking, designate a driver, call a rideshare service, or stay the night. Next time you're debating whether or not to get behind the wheel, think of Diana and her story.
Who are you?
It doesn't matter who I am, at least not to you. Looks like you got more important things to worry about anyway.
No, man. It was just one text, though.
That was enough to screw that guy over.
But it's fine, though. I didn't even hit the guy.
Oh, you thought you did, but you did. You see that guy? He's well, you know.
No, this is wrong. I didn't mean to hit the guy at all. Please, I'm sorry. You know, I didn't.
Thank you so much for sticking around. We're here in our second segment of the Cardinal Huddle, and I'm surrounded with another great group of UIW sports experts. How's everyone doing today?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. I've been impatiently waiting for these past weeks to be back here in the studio, and I'm ready to bring y'all some UIW men's soccer.
And it's no best time than going through the NCAA championship. I'm here to bring y'all some women's basketball, women's making it to the Southland Conference, and also into March Madness. So I'm very excited to be here and very excited to talk women's basketball.
Like some of my other feather anchors today, this is my first episode, and I'm very excited to just talk some sports. I'm covering soccer for women's, and let's get ready to just hype up our athletes.
Yeah, speaking of hyping up, if you've been paying attention to the show, you know we've been talking a lot about UIW history, and our softball team sure knows how to make it. The team recently got their first ever win against the Texas Power 5 team after beating Baylor University in a 6-4 contest. The Cardinals are battling every week, and they currently sit in the middle of the Southland Conference standings. Although the team has won big games, they have felt the pressure in key games as well. Head coach Kimberly Dean assures that this is all part of a learning and adjustment process for the Cardinals, since this is their first season with her.
I think it's learning how to compete together. I think it's learning how to compete in the process that the new coaching staff is creating. But ultimately, you know, I love the girls. I love what they're giving us every day. And it's just really allowing them to continue to celebrate each other and see how the process is working, even if the outcomes aren't in our favor all the time.
Now, halfway through the season, the team looks to gain enough momentum before taking on the conference tournament in May.
We are fighting to win the Southland. We are fighting every day to try to continue to develop and grow as fast as possible. But we all know the process is in God's hand, and we just want to enjoy the journey as far as it will take us. But we want to give every ounce of ourselves to make sure that when this season does end, there is no what ifs. There is none of us saying, well, if maybe I would have.
And you know, guys, Coach told me that they can really use the energy from their home crowd in their home games. So to the Cardinal community, make sure to go out to HEB Field and support UIW softball.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I myself have been part of that crowd a couple of times this season, and I can guarantee you can really feel the atmosphere, and that I think hypes up a lot the athletes out there, and I think that's a reason why they proved their quality this year.
Yeah, and it's also just inspiring to when you come out there to be able to see some fans supporting you so you can feed off their energy. Now, Zoe, it looks like the coach has changed around the program, changed around the culture. What do you think about the direction UIW softball is headed?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're doing pretty well. Like Coach mentioned, it's been a little up and down. They've had good wins, tough losses, but it's all about learning and adjusting to the team, and I think they're doing a good job at that. And they still have half of their games of the season still, and there's a long lot of time to improve and get better and get used to each other. So it's a process, and I think they'll be able to take on those big wins against Baylor and, you know, make a big run in the conference tournament for sure.
Yeah, to be little bitty UIW beating a big Power 5 school like Baylor had to be a big deal. Can you go into some depth about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, like Coach mentioned, she said that it was such a great win, and it's something that they can look back at for the rest of the season, for the next seasons. Just, you know, they can learn so much from that game and apply it to whomever is in front of them. So it's just one of those wins you always go back to, and you know, you now have the keys to win against anyone really. So yeah, it's very cool. And speaking of winning, our men's soccer team is currently in the off season, but I'm sure they have very high expectations for the upcoming season. Is that right, Mario?
They do actually, and they're getting ready for what seems to be a promising season. The players are confident about the process and want to avoid the problems they tackled during last season, where they lacked consistency and health, whereas injuries were a big part of that issues. So that's why the intensity of the practices has gone higher, and the mentality of the players has become more determined and ambitious.
We're working on more things like vision lab. We're working harder on the weight room. We're training hard, I think.
Yeah.
We're running, so I think we're doing better than last season.
Kiki Lara himself will undergo his third season head coach in the squad, and he will demand more hard work in all aspects of the game. He will face the challenge of determining player time based on player commitment to the team and their development throughout the preseason before big games come up. At the end of the 2021 campaign, UIW's defense was in shambles as they ended up conceding more goals than they actually scored. They finished in 8th position with a lot of aspects needing to be improved. However, now the team has undergone a massive shakeup with new players bringing in some new quality for the Cardinals. And the players feel more motivated and think they can make a big impact in the tournament.
I think the expectations are clear, right? Like, get the tournament and win the WAC and win as many games as possible.
Yeah. And score a lot more goals than we did last season as well. Yeah.
The Cardinals will be back in action by mid-August, so we'll be having a big chance to prove us all what they're capable of on the field.
Mario, I know you mentioned the team is very ambitious, but I remember when I spoke to Coach Lara when he first got here, his first season, he seemed to be very confident that the Cardinals were going to make a run, but unfortunately that hasn't happened. What do you think is going to happen next season for them to get over that hump?
Well, like I said, they were lacking a lot of consistency and health. That's why injuries were a big part of that problems. But I believe Kiki Lara is undergoing a very tough preseason, to bring in some more intensity to their practices as well, so they can maybe turn around what they were having for the past 3 seasons. And I believe in Kiki Lara. I think he has a lot of experience in his back, and I think he can actually make a difference in the tournament.
Now, Mario, I'm a former football player, and I used to actually see the soccer team over there, but they seemed like they were just running all the time. Talk to me. Give me some insight on what do you think about conditioning for soccer and the players running around. How prioritize the conditioning aspect of soccer?
Well, I think as many other sports, it all depends on having a good routine, a solid routine, getting ready for the fixtures as well, and practicing well, eating well, and it's all about having a good solid routine where you can actually develop yourself as a good player. And it's not all about running and chasing the ball. It's all about being also physically and mentally as well ready for the fixtures, and proving that on the field as well.
And you mentioned about injuries also, so conditioning plays a huge part in the in prevent injuries.
Unfortunately, they had a lot of injuries, as I said. But yeah, definitely, that has to do a lot of to do with the injuries as well. But I believe they brought some new legs, some fresh legs to the team as well, and they have plenty of players that can maybe adjust to different positions as well. So I believe they have a solid squad, and I believe in the team that they can do a pretty good season.
Yeah, and Mario, we just went over men's soccer, but our women's soccer also they definitely had a great season last semester. So Maria, what did they do? Can you talk to us about that?
Well, in case you didn't know, last November, UIW women's soccer program competed in the Southern Conference tournament. This was the first time in program history to reach this milestone, and I had the opportunity to find out what this accomplishment meant for the team.
We didn't start off as great as we wanted to, but it could be seen in practices and even warm-ups. Like, we really wanted it, and we were trying our hardest no matter what. And I think that really showed on the field and in our results as we got deeper into the season. And even though we didn't come out with the first place trophy, we still put everything we had out on that field. And I think that's really all that matters. So it was a good victory.
Great expectations this program has set for themselves in both the regular and off-season. Speaking of the off-season, I cannot tell you how many times I have noticed this team putting in the work every time they practice. Especially now in the off-season, I needed to ask what is their current schedule like and if they are competing in any way.
We could really see at practice with chemistry and working hard and all of that. And everyone really wanted and did their best. And I just feel like it's nice that in the end of the day, it really paid off for us. And it felt good that all the hard work came to.
The women's soccer team are still in their spring season, and with the fall season being right around the corner, you definitely need to see them in action.
Yeah, Maria, the Cardinal community needs to make sure to go out there and watch their team. And with more reason, because our very own Keely Ayala, who you just saw earlier, she's in that team, and they do put in a lot of effort. And they've done something that, it doesn't happen often. So it's the people here in UIW need to go out and support and see all their work, and I'm sure they'll repeat this success next year. Is that right, Maria?
Well, I can honestly tell you from personal experience, that season I had the opportunity to watch them play in action. And if there's one thing that I can say about this team and this group of wonderful women, it's that they know how to work hard, they know how to work together. And, as one of the athletes just mentioned when I interviewed them, these ladies know how to fight for each other. So whatever obstacle that they have coming at them, they know how to persevere and handle it with resiliency.
Yeah.
Now, with you saying all of that, so does that allow them, that actually gives them an opportunity to win? What do you think about that, Maria?
I think that they have a great chance of winning as much as they are willing to fight. And like I said, they put in the work and they're always fighting for each other. So yes, I think they can win as much as they want.
It's great to hear.
Yeah. And speaking of winning history, we saved the best for last. Angelo, the women's basketball team really did something what not many other teams have done. Take it away.
Well, women's soccer won't be the only team out here for a season of first, but the women's team concluded the season in the NCAA Women's Basketball Tournament, better known as March Madness. Before we get to March Madness, for the first time in history, the Cardinals won the Southland Conference Tournament championship, winning 4 straight games in 4 straight days, defeating Southeastern Louisiana in the championship game 56-52 to receive the automatic qualifying bid to the NCAA tournament. So after winning the Southland Conference tournament, the ladies headed to Columbia, South Carolina to take on Howard University Bisons. Now, unfortunately, our team was defeated 55-51 in a down-to-the-wire game, ending our historic run and season.
Yeah, Angelo, let me tell you, I felt it was great. I mean, I've had such a good time seeing all that support to our players here. What they've done is very. I don't think it'll be repeated. It'll be repeated, but maybe not next year or the upcoming year. So it's something very special that we need to sit back and enjoy. And I had such a good time, sitting and watching our women's team play in national TV. So I guess I take away such a good experience. And if you could feel that Cardinal spirit.
Yeah, you really could feel the Cardinal spirit, because I had an opportunity to go down to the watch party, and we got to watch our Lady Cardinals, on national TV, live on ESPN, and it was just a spectacular event. The news was there, all the Cardinals was there in support, people wearing red and everything, just supporting our Lady Cardinals. So it was just a great environment. And then, winning the Southland Conference tournament, it pretty much was a season of first for our UIW Lady Cardinals, so it's been awesome.
Yeah, I totally agree. I was fortunate enough to watch them in action a couple of times too, and I can tell you those girls were really talented as well. Like, you could feel what you said about this will never be repeated. I mean, I can actually understand what you're saying, because it was a very big generation of really quality players, and I think that's really hard to actually find.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on that note, bringing the team together and trying to keep them together seems to be the current challenges of these college opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely, Angelo. Yeah, it's we've heard that I believe it's 2 or 3 of our players are entering the transfer portal. Do we have an insight on that?
Yeah, we currently have 2 players. We lost 2 of our 3 stars that we had. We currently have 3 stars on the team, and we lost 2 of them to the portal. But best wishes to them. Stick with us. We will be coming back, and we will have one of those players here at the huddle table. So stay with us and come back.
Stay with us. It'll be good. I promise you that.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Welcome to the last segment of the show. And Angela, we have a very special guest here with us today, Destiny Terrell of the women's basketball team. How are you, Destiny?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing great.
And I'm so excited. You know, we have sophomore guard / forward here, Destiny. And pleasure. Thank you for coming to the show and the segment. And I got some questions for you. I'm going to put you on the hot seat, okay? Are you ready for that?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right. Well, good deal. First question, Destiny. Tell us, what was it like going to March Madness for the first time?
It was very fun, but very eye-opening. We just wanted to like take everything in, no matter how far we went. We knew what we accomplished already, so it was just very fun.
Mm-hmm. All right, another question for you. Now, leading up to the Southland Conference, we won the Southland Conference Championship tournament for the first time in school history. What was that experience like? And also, what made you all believe that you can actually win the Southland Conference tournament?
It was very overwhelming. Like throughout the season, we were struggling and we were trying to find ourselves, but we ended up finding it in the tournament. I don't know what exactly clicked, but something did click. And it was kind of like a win or go home situation, and we weren't ready to go home yet. So I think that what motivated us to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like how you say that, you know, you guys click together. But when we talk individual players, on an individual level, how do you feel you contribute to the team's success, not only in the tournament, but also going into March Madness?
I feel very good about it. Like, I just try to work as hard as I can, and whatever happens, happen. I feel like everything will fall into place as long as I just try my hardest.
Awesome. And then how did it feel to be, because none of us have been there. None of us have felt, you know, being on that stage under the bright lights, you know, seeing all the media there. How did that experience feel to you?
It felt very good. It was like an accomplishment and a good thing and a good goal for us to put UIW on the map. Not a lot of people know about UIW, so I feel like we did that throughout the tournament.
Awesome, yeah, yeah.
All right, now here's the $1 million question, Destiny, okay? Now it's already been reported, we end up losing a couple of our star players. Now I consider you our third star player previously. So with you leading the team now, why didn't you choose to go into the transfer portal?
Coach Dallas had me for 2 years now, so we'll be going into our third year. He's developed me, like he's made me the player who I am. And I just feel like why leave something, what like the quote is, or the saying is, don't fix something if it's not broken. And I don't feel like our organization, our team is broken. So I just feel like why not lead us the next couple of years? No point in me following anyone out.
Well, that's great, and we look forward to you to leading UIW for 2 more years. And it's been great to see you on the court. You're very versatile. You can pretty much do anything on the court, and we thank you for your service here and your commitment to UIW.
Yeah, and Angela, before we go, I do need to ask, where do you see this team going next season? Do we see them again in the NCAA tournament?
I'm hoping for it. It's a new conference, so I feel like we adjust a little bit, but I don't feel like anybody's expecting anything from us because it is a new conference. So I just feel like we'll go over wherever the road takes us.
Awesome, yeah. Well, we thank you so much for being here today, and you are officially our very first guest on this show, so we're happy to have you. So glad you were able to speak with us today. But unfortunately, we have to end it here, Angela. We have to go. We have to pay the bills. But we'll be seeing you soon in the Cardinal Huddle. Be sure to support, and we couldn't do it without you.
Yeah, all right, good deal. Thank you, Destiny, for being here. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. And we'll see you back at the Huddle.